But let's focus in away from the PSU banks and talk a little bit about Britannia. It's been a pretty stellar quarter for them, where you do have the cost controls as well as the sale of land, which has aided earnings. Varun, the managing director of Britannia, now joins in on the show to talk a little bit about the view forward. Thanks very much for being with us, Mr. Berry. To start off with, a strong set of numbers this time around. What do you think has been the main driver?
We've been growing our business reasonably well. So our focus is on growing the top line, at the same time making sure that we keep our costs under control on every front, variable costs as well as fixed costs.
The company has clocked record margins this quarter. Tell us whether this kind of margins of 11.9% plus sustainable over the longer term, and what are you internally targeting?
So exactly the same. We did get a good top line growth as well as we contained our costs. So that's the reason for our margins going up. And again, I'm not going to give you any future forecast, but we are going to work hard on the business and continue down the same path. Innovation is going to be a big agenda for us, and hopefully that's going to add to the top line growth.
Moving forward, your ad expenses this quarter, can you just give us a little bit of an outlook as to how they shaped up, what the outlook is going forward as well?
So two things about advertising expenses. One is that our advertising expenses were below what they were in the previous quarters. The reason for that were two. One is that we are weeding out certain expenses which do not give us the bang for the buck. And second, we were tight on our capacities during this quarter, and hence we were keeping the advertising expenses within control.
Varun, tell us about the kind of cost efficiency which you are deploying in the company, because of which the margins are improving.
I'm not going to talk about the coming quarters, but I can talk about the past quarters for sure. So there are, if you start from the product itself, we've looked at the various components which go into our recipe. We've had a variety of ingredients which go into our recipe. We've tried to standardize that, which has got us some efficiencies. On the fixed costs, we've tried to see how we can control our overheads. At the same time, on the factory front, how can we bring more productivities to the table? One of the examples is the energy cost. In a business like biscuits, there is a huge component of energy costs. We've looked at alternate energy, we've looked at cheaper energy sources, and we've contained our costs on that front as well. So it's been a spectrum of activities to control our fixed costs.
Thanks very much, Mr. Berry, for joining in, giving us views on the numbers, and congratulations on a great quarter gone by. Let's talk about the banking space then, and Divyanshi Dayanand.